Hello everyone and welcome. A few weeks back I did a review of what I thought was a very nice diesel heater. After making that video, I got a lot of comments telling me that that heater was overpriced and that there are many other diesel heaters on the market for much lower price. The one thing that many of those comments tend to ignore is that most of the cheaper heaters are very noisy with a constant ticking sound from the pump, but since I'm always willing to listen to different views from my viewers, I decided to look around for an alternative diesel heater that could be just as good as the one that I tested, but cheaper. Then I had a viewer email me and suggest that I test this unit that we'll be looking at today. This Wippro diesel heater is very similar design to the one that I tested previously, but at half the price. Is it as good as the other one that I tested? I don't know. Stick around as I unbox and test this puppy that I just got. Alright guys, so when you unbox this puppy, this is everything you get. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features that this guy has, but before we get started testing this guy, do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. That way you get notified every time I do another product review video, DIY project, or a sale at a big box store where I can help you save even more money. Alright then, so this is the 8 kilowatt energy efficient diesel heater from Wippro, available on Amazon, link in description below. At the time of making this video, this unit runs $189.90 on the Cyber Monday deal, but the regular price on this guy is $259.90. The dimensions on this guy are 16 inches in length by 10 inches in height and 10 inches in width, and the warranty on this guy is 1 year. So this 8 kilowatt 1.5 gallon diesel heater from Wippro is supposed to be very quiet when compared to other diesel heaters that have that annoying constant ticking noise from the oil pump. We'll hook it up later and see how it sounds. Now this unit comes with a convenient LCD display with all the controls, plus it also has a remote control so you can turn the unit on and off from far away. This unit has an aluminum alloy combustion chamber with a ceramic ignition plug for faster ignition and more efficient combustion with less noise. This unit will run on 12 volt, 24 volt, or 110 volts, so you can use it at home or in your vehicle. This unit has an adjustable temperature range from 46 degrees Fahrenheit to 96 degrees Fahrenheit, or 8 degrees centigrade to 36 degrees centigrade. This unit is also supposed to be very efficient, consuming only 0.18 to 0.53 liters per hour, meaning that you can run this unit all night long with just 1 gallon of diesel. So this diesel heater is a perfect companion if you want to do any outdoor camping or overlanding in your RV, camper, or SUV, and you need some heat during those cold winter nights. It's also very convenient for home use with the included 110 adapter. Use it to heat up your garage or your workshop if you don't have heat and don't want to bother installing a big bulky heating unit. This small unit can do the same work for half the cost and size of a bulky heating unit. So let's take a little closer look at this guy and see how it performs. Alright guys, so let's take a little closer look at this heater that I just got. And I already gave you all the specs and everything about it, so let's just take a little closer look at it, see everything that's involved here. So you have the owner's manual, you have some venting there that you can adjust for the outflow air. For the air coming out of the unit, brings you one hose that you can attach to the outgoing, the hot air, and that way you can send it wherever you want it to go. It does not have a hose for the inlet on the back. That one is actually closed off, and this does not come off of here. So basically, that's all there is there. I guess you could put a hose over this, like a dryer vent hose or something, if you wanted to collect the air from someplace outside. But as far as all the stuff this guy brings, you have your muffler right there. It connects to that little port right there. And you have an extension hose so you can vent it out to wherever you want to go. There is the little remote control that comes with it. Very convenient, like a little car remote control or something like that. A little beep beep right there. And you can turn it on and off, plus or minus. You can control the temperature that way. And it has this little cover that closes it up. That way you don't hit the buttons accidentally when you don't want to. And right here you have the power unit for when you're using it at home. Your 110 outlet right there. Your 110 connection right there. Your transformer to power that guy up when you're at home. Now, if you want to use it with a battery, then you have these cables right here, and you can hook it up on the back here, where you have, this is where you hook up the positive and negative, if you're going to hook it up to a 12-volt battery, and this is where you hook it up right there for your outlet right there, the transformer. You hook that guy up right over there, and you're all set. So that's the back of it right there. And you also have all sorts of clamps and connectors and all that kind of stuff for the muffler, that attachment, the hose over there, etc. So it brings everything you need, all the attachable units right there, all the connectors, so you can hook up all this stuff without any trouble. So this is basically a 8 kilowatt, and it'll run on 12, 24, or 110. That is your control panel. It's embedded in the unit. You can't take it out of there. And we'll turn that on in a little bit and see what it looks like. There is your gas tank right there. Just like the other one, this one is split in two, where on this side, you have the furnace, the heating element right there. And on this side over here is where you have the fuel tank. And this is 1.5 gallons or 8 liters. There you have right there. And when you fill it up, obviously this will show you right there how much fuel you have in there. So that tells you in liters and percentages. It doesn't really tell you gallons on it, but it is 1.5 gallons. And when you get down to around 25, it tells you you're starting to run low, so you better do something about it. And that's all the specs on the unit right there, in case you're curious about that. Tells you all the information on it. And this is the international version, so you can use it anywhere throughout the world, I guess. That is the heating element right there. And you put this hose on top of that right there if you want to aim it somewhere else. And this is your typical accordion hose, so you can expand it out further if you want to get more out of it. That is the way it comes when it comes into packaging. On this side over here, you just have the name of it. This one has a white cover to it, a nice little white paint on it. And the handles are collapsible, so they don't bother you, but you can fold them down when you're not using them, and that way they don't bother you, they're not in your way. The gas tank is right there. Let me show you that. And you have your nice plastic tank in there. And you can't really see much in there, but you have your plastic tank. That is what the cap looks like. It is a vented cap, obviously. You need to do that. So you have your venting right there. And that is what the gas cap looks like. And a nice plastic tank, so you don't have anything to worry about as far as that goes. And I'm going to fill that up with diesel in a moment. And we're going to have this guy run and check it out and see basically how efficient this guy is, how quiet it is, and how does it produce heat and so forth. So I'm going to set this guy up, make it a little closer to the door over there so I can vent it out properly, hook up the muffler, hook up all that kind of stuff, and then we'll see exactly what kind of heat this guy can produce. And it is not too bad. Like I said, 16 inches by 10 inches by 10 inches. I mentioned that previously. It's not really a very big unit. And it does have a convenient little thing down here where if you want to, you can bolt it down. It has that on the front and the back. If you want to attach it to something, make it easier so it doesn't move around for you. If you're out overlanding or camping or whatever, you can strap it down somewhere and it won't give you any trouble. So that's pretty much a rundown of that little guy right there. Let me hook it up and we'll see how this guy produces heat. All right, guys, here we go. I have the heater all set up and so forth. I put some diesel in it. And you can see right there how much diesel is in it. Only about 25%, but that's good enough for testing purposes. So I have this guy hooked up, and we're going to check it out in a moment. I put this box over here also so we can get a temperature reading of the air coming out of the machine instead of just the heating element itself right there. So I set it up with the exhaust coming out of there. And since I have an extra hose from my other heater, I hooked that up to there to get more extension out of it. Anyway, so I have the little remote right here in my hand. Going to click this guy on and it comes on right there. And that is the little control panel on it right there. You see how it starts up all by itself, does everything it needs to do. And it is starting up. It's at 43 degrees centigrade right now. And it should kick on in just a moment. And it goes through its own, startup cycle and stuff like that. So we'll give it a moment, let it get itself started. But it has a nice colorful screen. Very nice, easy to read, very clear. And you see everything right there. So let me give it a few seconds to get itself going, and then we'll come back and we'll do some temperature reading and see what it produces. Okay, guys, so it's been a few seconds, and you can see that it's starting up, and you can hear it that it's starting to crank away. You see the little injector down there? And that's telling you that it is starting up and getting itself going. So there's always a little bit of a startup cycle with these machines. So it's going right now. And let me get some temperature readings so we have a baseline. So we have this guy right here, and I have it set up to Fahrenheit. You can see right there on the box itself, on the side of the unit, we're looking at about 68 degrees. On the inside, you see it's starting to crank up. So it's starting to get hotter inside there, and it'll get warmer. And the body itself, some people have asked me, how hot does the body get? Well, you see the body is not hot at all. 67 on this side over here, which is where the fuel is. And okay, let's go over here. We're looking at the front right there. See, the front is still 67, very cold. Now, on this side over here, where the heating element is, it's a little warmer, but still 75 degrees, 76. That's not too bad. I mean, you know, it is Fahrenheit. That's not centigrade. That is Fahrenheit. So 76 degrees is comfortable enough to touch. So the insulation on it is not bad at all. It's still staying at a very good temperature. So that's pretty good right there. And the unit, the heating element, it's up to 99 degrees, 90, 89, 99. Let me get in here. See right there, 95 degrees inside there, 98, 99, 100. Yeah, it's climbing. It's climbing. So you see the heat coming out of it, and still next to it, you're still looking 69 degrees. The top of it, you're still looking 71 degrees. The side over here is still looking 76 degrees, which is what it was initially. So that tells you that the outside of the unit stays comfortable enough to touch and not get yourself burned. Now, if you look at the exhaust pipe, that's 107 degrees, if I can keep it on there, 120 degrees. So you don't want to touch the exhaust, that's for sure. But the unit itself is not too bad. Now you can hear it's really going in there. You can hear the air really cranking out of there. And it is, ooh, nice and toasty coming out of there. So I'll shoot the box in just a moment. But let's take a look at the control panel. It's telling us it is cranking away. And you can scroll through the different things here. See, that tells you the temperature right there. 127, it's climbing really steady. 130 degrees centigrade. That is really climbing. Very nice, colorful display. It tells you everything that's going on. And like I say, you can scroll through there and see all the different things that you want to see. The timer, all that kind of stuff, the voltage. And it does have a timer if you want to set it to that as well. There you go, 147, 25 degrees Celsius. That would be probably the minimum. But there we go. That's the current temperature right there. 155. It is climbing. It is climbing. Let's see again. What do we have? On the outside here, this side over here is still 83 degrees, something like that, right next to it. This is right next to the unit. See, it depends where you measure. But you're still talking, let me touch it, I'll give you a personal experience. Yeah, no, I can't really feel it. It must be picking up heat from that right there, because touching it, I don't feel any heat at all. It feels good to me. I'm not burning my hand or anything, so that's fine. So 79 degrees must be heat coming out from the exhaust pipe, because I personally don't feel it. Come over to this side, we're still talking 72 degrees. The outlet, ooh, that's a nice toasty 169. Yeah. A little bit, it fluctuates a little bit depending on where I put it and if it reflects. But 170 degrees. Now, how is the temperature coming out of it? That's why I put the box right there. So let me get a reading on top. See, the top of the box is 93 degrees. Now the side of it right there, that's the heat coming out of the machine. You're talking 114, 115 right there. I'm looking at that right there because that's about where the exhaust is. The exhaust is right there. It would hit about right there. So you're looking at, there you go, 110, something like that, 111, 12. So you're getting pretty good heat coming out of there. And it reflects because of the tape on there. That shows you the heat coming out of the unit is pretty good. And the tape kind of reflects the laser, so it's a little hard to get a good reading on that. But you're still talking 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is pretty warm and toasty. Now, if you get away from it over there, you see how it drops down. You get on this side over here, you see how it drops down to 70 degrees. So that shows you right there, this side is not exposed to the heat at all. You go over here to this side, that's being exposed to the heat right there. That's 123, whatever, that's the focal point right there where the heat is hitting. That's 123 degrees you're getting right there. So that's coming out pretty toasty, all right. And you see what you hear is the fan going. What are we getting at here? Try to get a good reading in there. There we go, 200 degrees. It jumps around a bit. So you're talking about close to 200 degrees, 198, 99, 200 degrees in there. That is pretty hot. The box, on the other hand, 75 degrees. Still comfortable, no problem at all. But let's look at this right here. Ooh, we're up to 200 degrees. Oh, yeah, it's hot in here. I'm already starting to get a little sweaty in here. It is heating up this garage very, very well. So 201 degrees centigrade right there. Yeah, it's really, really nice and toasty. Let's see the exhaust over here. The exhaust is... Did it go to centigrade? No, it's still Fahrenheit. There we go. 100 and 200 degrees on the heater. Yep, it's toasty on that heater, all right. On the exhaust, I mean. But there you go, guys. And if you want to know how noisy it is, I'm up close to it. And that gives you an idea how noisy it is at its maximum. I have it set up to max right now. You can turn it down much lower if you like, and then it obviously will turn on and off and maintain the temperature, because you can set a temperature and it'll maintain whatever temperature you set it to. But for the purposes of the video, I wanted to see how much and how fast it could really heat things up. And that's what we were going for. But you can set a timer on it to go on and off. You can set a certain temperature, and it'll go on and off based on the temperature that you set it at. And then that way you don't have to hear the noise of the fan going all night long. But actually, I'm quite surprised. I did not hear any ticking from the pump, which is one of the biggest problems that most of these heaters will have. So this is a good alternative to the one that I did previously if you're looking for a less expensive version that does pretty much the same job but does not get as noisy as the other ones with the tick, 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 which I personally can't stand. This is one to look into. This is not a bad heater right there. Like I said, it has a nice display to it, has a nice little remote to it, and you can turn it on and off with the remote without any trouble at all. And since I've been ignoring it for a little while, it turns off. But there you go. That shows you right there what it's going at, 206 centigrade. Wow. And you can turn it down if you want to. And that is the temperature setting right there. And it will start kicking down in a little while. And you can do that with the remote. You have the on and off, and you have the plus and minus right there. If you want to turn it off, I'll show you. You see right there? It turns itself off, and it'll start a cool down cycle. You see right there how quickly everything changed. And right now it starts a cool down cycle. And you see how it gets much quieter. I didn't want to wait for it to take forever to start cooling down to show you guys. But you see that it's still blowing, but much quieter because it's starting to cool down. So there you go. Where you want to use it on the control panel or on the remote, either way, it works perfectly fine. So if you're looking for a good alternative that doesn't cost as much as the other one did, you're looking for an all-in-one heater, there you go. It doesn't look all that bad. Seems to be a good alternative. That's why I listen to my viewers and stuff when they send me good ideas of different products to review. That's why I thought I'd check this one out for all of you that didn't want to pay the high cost of the other unit. So there you have it, guys. An all-in-one heater, a camping heater, parking heater, take it wherever you want to go. And it costs a lot less than the other one if you're interested in checking this out. Check out the links below for all the information. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.